Thanks for joining me today as we discuss counterweight fly systems. In this module, we'll discuss the people and the pieces of a counterweight fly system. Broadway and other live theater shows most commonly utilize counterweights, but we also use them in concerts as well. A counterweight fly system is complicated and can be dangerous if not handled appropriately. Only trained professionals should operate a fly system. So what is this thing we're talking about? A counterweight fly system was designed to move pieces of scenery during a live performance. In order for those pieces of scenery to move easily, it is essential that we properly balance the counterweight in the arbor. There are several pieces to a counterweight fly system. One complete line set consists of a batten that is being held by lift lines that go up over pulleys and then connect to an arbor. The arbor holds the counterweight that balances whatever is hanging on the batten, and that arbor's position, and therefore the position of the batten, is controlled by a hand line or a purchase line, which is this that goes all the way up and down, connects to the arbor on both ends. The arbor is held in place by a rope lock once the batten is moved into position. The person controlling the line sets is the flyman. The person loading all of that counterweight onto the arbor is the loader, and he does such from the loading bridge. On your really big shows, there might also be riggers working on the grid, so it is important that the flymen and the riggers communicate so that nobody gets caught up in these moving lift lines. These are the same terms that are covered in the diagram previous. Feel free to pause and look over them again. There are lots of terms used with a counterweight fly system. Some of these include pipe weight. That is the amount of weight left in the arbor that is just to balance an empty pipe. Loaded. This is said by loaders when they have completed adding all of the weight that they have been asked to add. Bricks, or stage weight, are the chunks of iron, pictured in the center here, that are used for counterweighting in the arbor. They're also often used to weight things down on stage. Clear is said, generally by loaders, when they're out of the way of the arbor so that the flyman is clear to move things. Out is said when something is going up. In is said when something is coming down. Trim is the height at which the batten will stay during the show. The trim can have an out trim or an in trim if it's a moving piece of scenery. And again, that's out meaning up and in meaning down. And then pick line. These are usually a rope not connected to an arbor. It's operated by the flyman and there's no counterweight. Usually used for picking cables. Pictured on the left is a fly rail. That is the area where the flyman controls all of the line sets. If there are several moves for the flyman during the show, there might be multiple flymen. On the right is a pin rail. As you can see, it's just a rope connected to a pipe. There's no counterweight, no arbor. This is all brute force to get those cable picks up out of the way. These are just pictures for reference. On the left is a loaded electrics batten. These battens are specific for lighting because, as you can see, they've got this extra rail in there, and that actually contains wiring for lighting fixtures. If you have adapters and it is patched appropriately, you can also put these into non-dims, therefore you can do projectors and stuff like that. On the right is the view from the loading bridge, or that area at least. As you can see, all of these battens are completely out or gridded, meaning that they have been taken all the way to the grid, and it's just a pretty cool image. Thanks for joining me today as we talked about counterweight fly systems. I hope you enjoyed. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe.